What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm watching Little Kelly again because I have nothing to do. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, not watching that. If you guys want, comment down below. And not watching. And not watching Rage Elixir. Not watching anything. Just Little Kelly. Okay. Little Kelly. 100 days. Yes. Let's see. What thing do you want? Let's watch the Jurassic Park Hardcore Minecraft. If you want me to see zombie apocalypse, comment down below. I'm leaving a like to this.
I survived 100 days inside a Jurassic Park Minecraft server. The land is vast and there are dinos everywhere. Brontosaurus, Velociraptors, and you guessed it, T-Rex. While I was there, I had three main objectives. Find and rescue the three missing scientists, locate the rare dinosaur DNA, and hunt and kill the Indominus Rex. Do I have what it takes to achieve all my goals and make it out alive? Stay tuned to find out what happens next. 1 year after the park closed down, three scientists made their way onto the island. They wanted to bring back the magic of Jurassic Park by creating a new species of dinosaur. After many experiments, they finally created the DNA they needed to make their hybrid, along with the genome of the Tyrannosaurus and the Velociraptor. Little did they know they were about to create the most dangerous creature ever seen by man, the Indominus Rex. The hybrid has taken over the island, and no one has been crazy enough to enter the island and rescue those scientists. Until me. Yeah, I'm the dumb one. On day one, to get to Jurassic Park, Sharky and I flew in a helicopter over Nublar Island. Sharky is a pretty good pilot, but all of a sudden, the rear propeller jams. We start spinning out. We're definitely going down. We crash on land on top of a mountain, but no one's hurt, thank goodness. The heli is on fire and we lose some of our supplies we flew in with. It's not a great start, especially when there's wild dinos all around this place. We made our way down the mountain, but then Sharky went and slipped into the water. I followed him in to try and help him out, but the current was too strong. The waterfall carried us to the edge, and we had one option. We had to jump. We land at the bottom safely, and just as we think we're in the clear, Sharky gets attacked by some kind of fish. There was tons of them, and they were
That's
super
piranha.
big, Jurassic fish. I had to fight them off and get Sharky out of the water, but he was clearly hurt. This really wasn't a good start. I had to leave Sharky where he was because his ankle was hurt and find some shelter to keep him safe. Dinos can smell the blood from his injury from miles away, so we were going to be a target soon enough. As I left through the gates, I found myself in Jurassic Park. The coast was pretty clear apart from some ocelots, which was a good sign. No dinos around here yet anyway. I walked until I found a small cave entrance. This could work, but I need to make sure it's safe first. I gather some wood and make a pickaxe and some supplies. I find some coal and make some torches, and I make my way into the cave. But that's when I hear it. Definite dino noises. I didn't know whether these were going to attack or not, but they were friendly. Gallimimus, it looks like. They're herbivores and nothing for me to worry about, but I did need to make space for us in the cave, so I shooed them out of there. I kind of felt a little bit bad, but Sharky's injury was way more important right now. I made my way back to Sharky, hoping he was still alive and a dinosaur had him. Thankfully, he was still there. He was pretty hurt, but he managed to walk some of the bit to the cave. I mean, it definitely hurt him a lot, but we got there in the end. Now that we were in the cave, the sun was still up. I decided that I would head back to the crash site to see if I can salvage any of our supplies. I know we lost some crates on the way down, but I didn't know what was left up there. I climbed up the mountain and it took a long time. The sun was going down, but I did manage to find a crate with some supplies, including a first aid kit and a parachute. But that's when I heard it. More dino noises, and this time, I don't think it was herbivores. I turned around and I saw microraptors. They instantly attacked and they were in a pack, just like they travel. I had to get out of there. I jumped into the water to try get away, and there was only one quick way down off this mountain. It was to parachute. I jumped in parachutes, I couldn't follow my scent, and I landed just outside the cave. I went down and gave Sharky the supplies that he needed to heal himself up. It was time to get some rest. We woke up early on day 2. We didn't get a great sleep, but we mined all the iron and the coal ores around the cave. They'll definitely come in handy. I made us some weapons and a shield each, just in case we come across some more pesky dinosaurs, seeing as our weapons crate went missing from the heli crash. Sharky is feeling much better, so we decided to leave the cave and start our search for a more secure camp, and of course to start our objectives. We made our way through the forest and came across these beautiful dinos, the Bronchiosaurus. They're so big. They seemed friendly, but we still gave them plenty of space and didn't want them standing on us by accident. We continued on until we came to this tunnel. We had no idea what was on the other side, but we still gave it a go. After we got through it, we took a left and headed towards the hills. It took some time, but we soon realized the huge mistake we'd made. We were on the wrong side of the fence. Even though all the dinos have broken free, we were still inside an enclosure where the dinos may have called home. We snuck around some more and then it happened. Our worst fear, velociraptors. They were far enough away so they didn't see us, but we could see them. We decided to get out of there. We snuck the rest of the way through the trees and finally made it to a river. At this stage, it was getting dark, so we chopped down a few trees and made ourselves a basic shelter. Then it was time to sleep for the night. We started off the next morning by building ourselves some boats and taking some of our essential bits from our camp so we could go around the outside of the park. We even got to see another pack of microraptors. So cool. Just as the sun was going down on day 3, we found a barrier. We got out of our boats, but there was no way in. It was a perfect spot for a small camp, and we'd keep going the next morning. The next morning, we continued our mission to find a more sustainable camp. By midday on day 4, we found what looked like to be an old raptor pen. We approached it with caution, just in case there was still one inside, but it was empty. We got to work setting up our sleeping bags and campfires. Then we hoed and started a little farm area with some of the seeds Sharky found along the way. That's a great start to our camp, as we're running out of our limited food supply already. We do need some water for our crops, but that's tomorrow's job. As the sun came down on night 4 ahead, we started off with a T-Rex close by. This place is crazy. Sharky even panicked and put our fires out as to not draw the dinos' attention. We had a cold night ahead. We started off day 5 looking around the area for anything that could help build our camp. That's when we found the gates. Look at these things! Whatever dinos were behind must have been huge. We went through and found a Jurassic Park sign. This area was for the Dilophosaurus. So cool! Oh my gosh, there's still some behind the cage. They look so cute, but I still would not like to be on the end of their teeth. We continued on and then we found a Jeep. We look around and it seems to be abandoned. There's no supplies or fuel, but we for sure wanted to get this back to our camp. It would make finding those scientists much easier. By 11 p.m. in the night, in the darkness, we managed to push the Jeep downhill back to camp. Well, I pushed it, Sharky steered. The next 2 days, we searched the nearby lands to try and find fuel or weapons. We climbed up on top of a mountain and took a look around on all the forest that lay in front of us with no sign of life. But we did see a road. As we made our way back down, I wondered if I'd be able to achieve any of my tasks within these 100 days. We found the road and agreed we'd follow this tomorrow, but for now, back to camp. On our final stretch home, the worst possible thing happened. A pack of velociraptors. We tried to back up, but it was too late. They attacked us. We fought them off as best we could, hiding in the trees, but eventually we just had to run. They stayed hot on our tail, but then we managed to lose them. Now back at our camp, we had no fuel or supplies to show for our 2-day adventure. So we just called it a night and went to sleep.
Oh, sorry.
On the morning of day 9, we went to check out that road that we spotted from the top of the mountain. We saw a few awesome dinos on our walk. These creatures are so amazing. Shame half of them want to tear us limb from limb. We then came across this gate that's been clearly broken by a big and very strong dinosaur. Could it have been the Indominus Rex? We went through with caution and continued on the path. I couldn't believe what we found. A huge building. It looked like the science lab I had seen on the maps. You know, the ones that we lost back in the helicopter crash. We made our way towards the building, but very cautiously. These look like some kind of pen area. This wasn't feeling right, and by the time we reached the front door, my gut feelings were confirmed. We looked through the glass and we could see what looked like a hostage situation with one of the scientists. Who are those guys? We couldn't hear what was going on, so we made our way onto the roof using the vines to see if we could find a place to listen in, and we did.
I'm only going to ask you one more time, Doc. Where are your other science buddies?
I don't know. I swear, we got separated over 3 months ago and I've lost all contact. For all I know, they could be dead.
Huh, you think? Very convenient for you, then, eh? It means I have to keep you alive for now. Where is the egg?
The egg? The egg's already hatched. The Indominus Rex is out there somewhere. That's why we called you guys for support. Biggest mistake in my career. Trusting a bunch of mercenaries.
Now, Doc. No need to insult us. We saw an opportunity to take this creature and sell it to the highest bidder, along with the rare DNA needed to make it. So, let's go upstairs to the lab and see if you can find this DNA. I've got ways of making a man remember things.
Oh no, this is terrible! The scientist guys aren't trapped, they're being held hostage! This changes everything! With the sun going down, we ran straight for camp. We needed to come up with a plan if we were going to rescue those scientists and take down these mercenaries and the Indominus Rex. On the morning of day 11, we came up with a plan. On the flight in, Sharky remembered spotting a weapons outpost somewhere deep in the jungle. We packed up our camp and headed out. This outpost was going to be the most important part of completing our mission. We spent the next 12 days chopping our way through the thick forest in search of the outpost. There was a few close calls with some dinos, but they were distracted by some wildlife. We were super lucky. Eventually, on day 23, we found it. The outpost. We take a look around and it seemed to be clear of those mercenaries. I had no idea what was inside or who, but we have to go in and see. We waited until nightfall to make our move. We made our way through the front door and took a look around. Computers and science tech stuff, but no weapons yet. On further inspection, we found what we were looking for, the weapons room, but it was protected by reinforced glass and a keypadded door. We thought this was going to be a bum mission, but then Sharky found a trapdoor with a ladder going down. Once we got down to the bottom, we found a bunker, and we found one of the missing scientists. She was so scared at first, but we explained that we were here to help, and that we're going to rescue her and the other scientists and get them off this island. She opened the weapons room door.
I remember this scientist look like. If you didn't see Eva's stream video, he have series Survivor season 1, season 2. And this, I think, is Scientist Eve, okay? Let's begin the video again.
For us, and we stocked up on all the supplies we could carry, including fuel for our Jeep. Sharky also found this DNA card. I don't know what it's for, but it might come in handy later in the 100 days. She also told us to take the one lethal dart that they had left. It's the only thing that can take down the Indominus Rex. We decided to stay in the bunker that night and get some rest. A very successful mission. We spent the following 6 days making. We wasted no time in getting there, but it was a Velociraptor pen. We had to make certain there was. Fueled the Jeep and got it back to our new command center. Definitely sounds more official. Day 31, and the scientist Jane had set up some of her scientific equipment she insisted on taking from the last outpost. Myself and Sharky made some final checks on the Jeep and our equipment, and then we were setting off in the direction of the science lab where we saw the mercenaries holding the scientists captive. We stepped a little bit out of the way and hid the Jeep from view. We waited until it started to get dark before we got any closer. Once outside the science labs, we could clearly see some of the guards on watch. We decided that we would use a stealthy attack and only use our knives, not guns. We rushed the guards at the front door and took them out quietly. We headed inside and kept our movements super quiet until we could locate the scientists. There was guards all around, so we had to be super sneaky to ensure we didn't get caught. We found the cafeteria, but it seemed clear, no scientists. We had to take out 2 more guards and then we made our way upstairs. Then we saw it. 2 more guards again blocking the door. We rushed them and took them out. And finally, we entered the lab. There he was, the second scientist. We told him who we were and that we have Jane, one of his colleagues. He finally trusted us, so we made our way back out of the lab and headed for the stairs. But that's when we nearly got caught. The main mercenary had returned with more guards and they were all over the lobby. We had to retreat by using the doors out the back and jumping down from the high walls. I then spotted some more jeeps, but they were in some sort of garage. And in the distance, I saw what looked like an electricity station. That could come in handy big time. We made our run for the jeep, got in, and got away just in time. Once we were back in our command center and the 2 scientists were reunited, we ate some dinner and called it a night. Day 32, and Henry, the second scientist, told us about a mine he was working on with his other colleague, the final missing scientist. They had been separated and he's convinced that he's still down there. Myself and Sharky arrived to the entrance of the mine and made our way inside. It was huge and there was dinosaur fossils and ore everywhere. Then we looked down into the open shafts below our feet. We knew we had to make our way into the mine. After 11 days down in the mines, we realized we were completely lost. With all of our food nearly gone, we didn't have much hope. Then Sharky spotted some light down at the end of a long tunnel. This could be our exit. We made our way down and there he was, the final scientist. Just like the others, we told him who we were and that we were there to help him. He knew the way out of there as he's been hiding down there away from all those evil mercenaries all this time. Finally, on night 45, we made it back to camp. 13 whole days after we went down the mines. First task completed. All 3
What?
in my bed thinking about the next 2 tasks. Find and take down the Indominus Rex. Day 46 was all about recon. I sat outside the main science lab watching every move the mercenaries made. I wanted to know if they were going to try and leave or try and hunt us down. For some strange reason, it seemed like business as usual, so I made my way home that night and settled into my sleeping bag. Day 47, and after talking with the final rescued scientist, it turns out he had the rare DNA the entire time. Well, he did have it. When he first got to the mines, he was confronted by a smaller raptor. The raptor must have smelled the fresh food he had in his backpack and he wanted it. After a short fight, the scientist threw his backpack to the ground and ran into the mine. The raptor took the backpack and ran off. He told us he had a tracker inside the backpack in case he lost it. I guess myself and Sharky are on another adventure to find the DNA. We drove around the vast island for days tracking this raptor when eventually we found it. The only problem, it's in a pack now and they're all big and hungry. Sharky had a good idea to put down a feeder filled with chicken meat. But the chicken meat was injected with the tranquilizers from the darts. Genius! Now it was a waiting game. They used the feeder and then they all headed off to sleepland with full bellies. Once they fell asleep, we snuck over and located the backpack. Easy does it. If we wake these guys, we'll be their next snack. We did it! Woo! The backpack! Now we have the DNA. That is objective 2 completed. We went back towards the jeep and headed off on our way back home when, boom, a T-Rex appeared at the end of a tunnel and he attacked us too. We tried to speed away, but he was so fast. I bailed out of the jeep and hid in the toilets. I think it worked. I couldn't hear him outside anymore. Wait, Sharky, where is he? He's not in the toilets. Maybe he's in the men's? No, oh gosh. We must have gotten separated from the T-Rex attack. I went back to the jeep and Sharky was gone. But the backpack with the rare DNA in it was still intact. I headed straight for camp hoping Sharky made it home before me. But no, he wasn't there. I decided to wait the night and hope he would return. I woke up early on day 60 hoping Sharky would be back, but no such luck. I jumped straight in the jeep and searched the island from top to bottom. I checked the enclosures. I checked the river. I even went back to the raptor site and nothing. I was starting to fear the worst. I arrived back at the camp on the morning of day 70. Then one of the scientists told me about a helicopter the mercenaries used to search the island. If I go back to the main science lab, I'll find it in the back building, and I could use that to find Sharky. I got my stuff together and headed off. I dumped the jeep a bit away from the lab and snuck closer. There's no guards out the front. I made my way inside and nobody was there. I looked
Not
all around,
again.
but the place was empty. I went to head out the back to find the helicopter, and there he is, Sharky. He was alive, but the main mercenary had him hostage. I knew what I had to do. We fought for what felt like an eternity, and when I thought it was over for me, I caught him with a lovely punch. I was winning. I ducked and dipped, and eventually I won. He dropped the heli key. Jackpot! I freed Sharky and we grabbed the heli. This could work. We can get out of here now. I made it back to the camp with Sharky. Now we have all three. And else could take its DNA. Time for some rest. Over the next 9 days, we tried everything to find the Indominus, but it was just too smart. We tried live animals for bait. We even tried Sharky as bait, and he did not enjoy that. Then on night 80, one of the scientists gave us this, an incubated raptor egg. He told me if I hatched it and trained the dino like my own, it would lead me to the Indominus Rex, as the Indominus is the alpha, and they all go to him. I spent every hour with that baby raptor until he was eventually a force to be reckoned with. He grew up so big, so fast. He would come on my command, stay, and even let me scratch him under the chin. So cute. We were ready. It was now or never. We traveled the next few days until we reached a part by the river I had never been before. My raptor was acting strange, and then suddenly he ran away. Oh man, did he just leave me here? That's when I heard it. The roar of an Indominus Rex. I turned around and there it was, in the flesh. Sharky pulled up at the worst possible time and thought it was a good idea to shoot it. It only made it mad and it tried to attack me. Luckily, I had one lethal dart and one chance to take it out. And I did! We took down the Indominus Rex. And to be honest, I don't know what everyone was freaking out about. That was pretty easy, apart from nearly dying. Oh my gosh, we couldn't believe it. We actually did it. We can finally leave the island, and we're a couple of days early off our day 100. Objective 3, defeat the Indominus Rex, completed. It took a full day to get back to camp. We had to pack up all of our stuff. There was quite a bit. DNA.
What is